Hey, Sarah Brodwald here. I'm a realtor in the Boston area, and just continuing the series on how to sell or how to sell your house for more. So we're on part three, and today we're talking about staging versus not. And the last two times we talked about condition and valuation. So staging, I know, is like a hot topic for sellers because it can cost a lot of money, and oftentimes it doesn't seem like it makes a lot of difference. If you're a seller, you're like, well, this is how I lived in it, so it should be fine. People should be able to look past my stuff and be able to see the house for what it is. And while that is a lovely sentiment, think about the environment that we live in today. Everyone's on social media. Everyone is using filters and all kinds of, not everyone, but a lot of people use filters and lots of different things to, make pictures more beautiful. And a lot of people don't have a lot of bandwidth. People just, we're visual creatures, and sometimes we just need that fed to us, like spoon fed to us. So if you can kind of keep that in mind, I mean, if you were to walk in a house and the house is staged beautifully versus if you walk in, the house is empty, or maybe it's like really cluttered and has somebody's like a hoarder house or something. It doesn't have to be that extreme, but that could be a good example. Your reaction is going to be totally different. So if you can kind of keep that in mind, and then also statistically speaking, if you stage your home, it can cost anywhere from 0.3% to 1% of the sale of the home to stage it, which I know can be pricey depending on the home itself. But the returns on that can be anywhere from 5% to 15%. So, that obviously is going to pay for the staging itself, and in the long run, it's going to help you sell faster and for more money. So, I mean, that right there will pay for a commission, pay the commission and help you pay to move. So, that kind of return is worth it. So, what do we mean by staging? Well, a couple of things. If we're looking at the house from the outside in, of course, like we want the outside to be beautiful. So, making sure that the curb appeal is great. So if it's in the winter, it might be, getting rid of the snow that out of the way, putting out winter plants, or, maybe clearing off the deck, or just whatever we can to make the outside look beautiful so that when people come they feel welcome. You might even put lights out, or just different things like that. Anything to really, the best is the landscaping. So when someone pulls up, the house looks neat, looks beautiful. Like for example, this last weekend we had this huge blizzard here in this area, and some places had 3 feet of snow. First of all, I would say that's probably not a great time to be doing an open house, but if you're getting a house ready that's going on in the next couple weeks, probably there are a few things that you can do to really make sure that it looks beautiful outside. So really cleaning up the sidewalks, cleaning up the driveway if there's a driveway, that kind of stuff. If it's a condo, I mean, obviously you're most likely not looking outside unless you're taking a picture of the whole building. So just all those things can be, tremendously helpful. So when somebody pulls up, it looks beautiful. It looks like it's out of a magazine. So that's the first thing I would say. And of course the backyard, the same. So whatever you can do to clean stuff up, if there's leaves everywhere, that kind of stuff, plants, if it's like putting in new trees or cleaning up, like leaves and sticks and things like that, maybe like you have pets, clean up the dog stuff. So any of that stuff, it will go a long way. You just want it to look like I could move in and it's ready to go. Like they don't even have to do anything. And that doesn't have to be too expensive. A lot of that you could probably do yourself or hire somebody to do fairly inexpensively. If the house is, maybe like more of a luxury home, definitely do not skimp on this. And also, you want to make sure that if you've already moved out, that you have someone that's going to come and take care of the landscaping while you're not there. So, imperative. That's just staging the outside. On the inside, of course, the last video we talked about trends and fads. So this is one of the things that you can do if you don't do a whole lot to update your home. Staging can take care of a lot of that. So if it's whether it's like putting in brand new furniture, taking out personal things like maybe like your family photos and stuff like that, and putting in neutral art and things like that. That is imperative. Getting rid of the clutter, making sure that lighting is beautiful, and the windows are clean, so that way more light gets in. All of that is absolutely imperative. In the basement, making sure that stuff's out of the way so people can see what's in the basement, even if it's like here in New England, the homes are super old, so a lot of them aren't finished. Some of them even still have dirt floors or whatever. So, whatever you can do to get stuff out of the way, so people can get through and really just see the basement and see the bones of the house is great. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy. If you have to or you need to, you can even paint the walls. I know there are ways to do that can be beneficial. In the attic, not a lot of people go in the attic, but as long as again, you can open and see, it's fine. You don't have to worry about that too much. Really, you want to focus on the main spaces, so kitchen, the living area, so whether it's a living room, dining room, but particularly the living room, bedrooms, and if you're on a budget and you're trying to do this in a way where you can still get a feel for it, there's ways to stage, and make a place look livable and beautiful and not necessarily have to spend too much on the staging. So maybe you just stage like the living room and the master bedroom and the kitchen, or the outside space. Maybe there's like like a barbecue outside, and you set that up. If it's it's a winter now, so you probably wouldn't be doing that right now, but in the summer, definitely setting that all up so people can imagine themselves being there. So I'll just kind of recap. Staging imperative. Do not skimp on the staging. Whatever you do, even if you just if you're on a tight budget and you can just do a little bit, do it. If the house is super cluttered, maybe like it's very old, maybe there was a hoarder in there, just make sure that you clean it out and get all the stuff out of there. Maybe it needs a lot of work and it's like a gut renovation job. Then just say clean it out as much as possible, get all the smells out. And every single time you have an open house or you have someone come over, make sure the house smells beautiful. Again, I would say, make sure to get rid of any pet stuff. A lot of people have pets, but some people don't, or they have allergies and things like that. So take the pets with you, and make sure the outside areas are really spick and span and beautiful. So especially for the time of year, how you can do that, if you're dealing with snow or rain or even just like, the fall leaves and things like that. Get a landscaper in there if you don't know how to do it, and have them help you set it up. So again, you will, just for a little bit of money, 0.3% to 1% of the sale of the home, you can make anywhere from 5% to 15% return just from staging. So it's kind of like, why wouldn't you? It's a no-brainer. So if you need some suggestions for stagers, there's lots of different types of stagers and organizers, things like that. All of those things will get you more for your home, and you will sell much faster. All right, I think that's it for today. If you have more questions, feel free to reach out, Sarah Rodewald Realty, and like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.